Good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, and that means it's happy hour somewhere, and more importantly, it's time for the Coffee Break Net. The Coffee Break Net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club in Auburn, California, and is hosted this morning by Gerry, W6E, that's me, and my able-bodied assistant, Theta, W6EK. We will be, what do they call it, conversation facilitators, certainly not net controls. Okay, so what's the deal here? Many of you turn on Saturday morning hoping to hear Orion, AI6JB, but he is hosting or conducting one of his field workshops this morning, showing young wannabe hams how to cut and make antennas out in a park somewhere in Sacramento. So I'll be filling in for him this morning. If anyone can do so, I'll give it my best shot. So who's out there that wants to be a participant in today's session of the Coffee Break Net? Come down.
N6CKV.
Kilo Golf 6, November, Lima Whiskey.
Pennsylvania. Kilo Charlie 6.
Good morning. KC8 FQV, Ohio, Mark.
KB6 SSN.
KO6 MJL.
Whiskey 1 Sierra Charlie Delta, Sean, Vermont. Okay, good morning, everybody. Here's who I got. N6CKV, WH7DV, KG6NLW, KC8FQV, KC6SLE, KB6SSN, KO6MJL, and W1SCD, Sean from Vermont. Did I miss anybody? Amazing. Well, let's start at the top. N6CKV. Good morning, Carl. How are you today?
Good morning, Gerry, Theta, and Rocky. Well, no big plans for today. Might take a drive, enjoy the nice weather for a little bit before the rain comes again. Other than that, not much going on at the old homestead.
Well, very good. Yeah, it's supposed to be a nice day today. According to one weatherman, the high should be about 60. Tomorrow, mid-60s, so we're going to warm up a little bit. And you know what that means, Carl? All that rain we had and the rain that's promised, plus all that sunshine, better get your tractor warmed up. It's time to cut those weeds.
Yeah, the field's a little too muddy to be out there right now, but I got to do some little bit of maintenance on it, and then get ready to start cutting grass or weeds. It's more weeds than grass.
And let's clarify for those folks who don't live here locally and are back east and wondering what we Californians are talking about when we talk about weed. What you and I are talking about are green things that come up from the ground that are unwanted. I guess you could smoke them if you dried it, but it wouldn't be very pleasant.
Yeah, just plain old undesirable stuff that's growing, and it's getting fairly high. It's going to be a tough mow this year.
Indeed it is. However, we have to let it get nice and high so we can host those wonderful summer fires.
Yeah, we don't want one on this property. We want to mow them down, get them down below 6 inches.
Yeah, now that I don't have horses, I go out and mow the weeds down in the pasture down to about ankle level. Okay, well, have a great day, and give our regards to Ruth.
Okay, we'll do. Everyone have a good Friday. This is N6CKV. I'm going to say 73. It's good Saturday. My mistake. It's Saturday. 73 Gerry, everyone.
7-3, Carl. It's so hard being retired. Every day is just blend into the next, don't they? Let's go back to Pennsylvania, WH7DV. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Gerry and the Net, WATE and WATEWF. This is W87DH, and it is 36.5 degrees here. The snow is pretty much all gone, but we're supposed to get some more snow tomorrow, less than an inch though. So I think the really, really cold weather, including the negative weather, may be over. Sure hope so for the season. We miss California. We miss the islands and the nice weather there for sure.
Good morning, Roy. Sorry, I had to cough, and I didn't want to do that in the mic. Yeah, are you staying put in Pennsylvania for a while? I think of all the moves that you've done since I've known you, you come a long way from living in the tropics and the nice warm breezes to living in the freezer.
That's for sure, Gerry. Yeah, we do miss our 4 years in Oahu and then 25 years in Hilo after that. But California, Colfax, that was very nice area, and but we were in a high fire danger area, and we're not here for sure, but we'll probably be put for quite a while because we have a middle son and his family, wife, and 5 grandchildren that are within a half an hour of us, so we'll probably stay put here for a while anyway.
I understand. Family is a great draw, and I'm glad that you got one close to you there. You know, speaking of Hilo, have you been watching the eruption at Kilauea? Did it erupt while you were living there? It probably did, but it's going crazy now, putting on quite a show.
Yes, it did erupt while we were there, but nothing like it has been recently. I have a friend there that told us about the ash that was getting on everything, even in the Hilo area, which is pretty unusual to get that far down. I mean, in the past 1980s, there was a big one that lava flow that came within not too many miles of Hilo from the Kalmana side. But this last one, yeah, is quite significant. And then my brother and sister-in-law are over there now. He's on the board of one of the gardens there, over there on the Hamakua coast. But the rains, he says, the rains have been unstoppable. They were there from the 22nd of January until last Tuesday, and they had lots of rain. It took care of the ash, but then, all the rain that was there.
Unusual winter. I hadn't heard about all the rains in Hilo. Of course, that is the wet side of the island. I read about the heavy, unusual snow in Fairbanks this year. So the rain, as you say, gets rid of the ash and the VOG, V-O-G, which is volcanic smog, huh? Well, we were there back in the early 80s. I had a trial there, and we went over to Hilo just for a visit. And I don't remember if the volcano was erupting, probably not. But I have around here a picture that I took of a subdivision they were building called Hawaiian Gardens or Hawaiian Islands or something like that. It was a big sign, a big billboard announcing the development that they had put in, and there were some roads and whatnot. And the sign was half covered by lava, and the rest of the subdivision was covered by lava. So much for that new development.
Yes, when we moved over to the Hilo area from Oahu in 1990, and when we first got there, one of the beaches, maybe Mickey remembers the name, Kalapana, one of the beaches was overrun with lava, a little beach park. Yeah, right after we got there, and so yes, it has. And that was a ways out in the Puna district and things like that. But I think maybe what you're referring to, there's a Hawaiian Acres, and there's also a Hawaiian Paradise Park. I don't know if that was one of those that you saw the sign half covered in lava, but yeah, we used to take our young single adults out there to walk in the lava and see the fire from the distance and such there, but got to be careful because those lava shelves can break off pretty easily. But I better let others get in, and W6E and W6EWF, great talking to you, great net, and thank you for handling us this morning. And I will say 73s, and we'll be monitoring all that everyone else has to say.
Okay, Roy, good to hear you on, and glad you're surviving the cold back there. Regards to Mickey. Have a great day, and thanks for checking in with us. This is W6E. KG6NLW. Frank, good morning. Where in California did we find you this morning? I think yesterday was Bakersfield, or maybe that was Thursday.
Good morning, Gerry and Annette. That would have been Thursday. Came home Thursday, and I'm off until tomorrow afternoon. So I'm at home, and I'm having fun, and Coffee Break Net is live on YouTube. Not much else going on here, just getting stuff done around the Shack studio. Got a couple projects, a couple video reviews to do, but otherwise keeping nice and comfy. It is overcast today down here in the Bay Area, northern Bay Area, so I think we're expecting a spot of more rain. With that, I'm going to keep it very short, Gerry. Good morning to you and Theta and Rocky, and good morning, Coffee Break Net. Kilo Golf 6 November, Lima Whiskey.
Okay, Frank, very good. Well, I'm glad you're back home. I have a few days off. And why don't you clarify for everybody where on YouTube they can find this net if they want to listen in, and it does not include video.
Oh, it does have a little bit of video. I have both my All-Star connection and the W6EK connection dashboards up on the screen, and how you can get in. So there is a little tiny bit of video to it, but my face is not there. It's dashboards only. But you just throw my call sign into YouTube, KG6NLW, and it should pop up with Ham Radio Wilderness with Frank. That's me. So if you just Google YouTube search bar, Kilo Golf 6 November Lima Whiskey, not phonetically though, you'll get the YouTube.
Okay, very good. Years ago there was a movie, American Graffiti, and when I was growing up I listened in the evening to a DJ came out of Mexico by the name of Wolfman Jack. And as part of that movie you had a brief glimpse of Wolfman Jack sitting at his microphone at the station putting on these records. I guess theoretically the station was in Modesto or someplace like that according to the movie. But when you go to your website, you're not going to see one of us sitting here hosting the net. That was my point in saying there's no video. I guess we can look at whatever you post, but it won't be whoever's in the net control for the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the dashboard showing who's keyed up. So on the bottom half of the screen right now, it shows that I'm keyed up on the W6EK system. And below that, it shows how you can get in. You know, there's the WireX, All-Star, and Echolink. So there you have it. Gerry, Theta, y'all have a great day, and we'll be here. WA6E and WA6EWF, KG6NLW.
Very good. Thanks for checking in, Frank. Always a pleasure. Let's move along to KC8FQV. Mark, in Ohio, how are things there?
All right, yeah, just peeling boiled eggs.
QV. Mark, are you still with us?
I just finished peeling the one. There's another one to go, but we'll take the call here and do it. So KG6NLW, I'll go take a look on that on YouTube. get that brought up. Yeah, the dashboard. That dashboard helps out so much. Yeah, when you're doing net, I think, have you guys did it, or is it the one out, Sky1 net out in Pennsylvania? As soon as they see you log in, they can call on you. So there is no train wreck. They can look at a dashboard and see all the people. They can work off the dashboard for a while and say, if you're logged in on AllStar, Echolink, or whatever, you wouldn't have to call in. We will call you. We can avoid train wrecks that way. And of course, you get the repeater. Of course, the repeater has the call sign come up there. And of course, well, anyone could come in. And yes, there are some people that come in, and then when the people key up, they're looking at the dashboard, say, "Oh, you're that person." No, I'm not that one, because that's the repeater. This is my call. When they call through the repeater, because it's the repeater that's connected to the Echolink or AllStar that shows up on the dashboard. That's where it can get a little confusing sometimes if you're looking at the dashboard, but you're not looking at the dashboard, just like radio. But yeah, everything else is going good here. 31 degrees about. Overcast gray. We call it Gray, Ohio. So I'll send it back to the net. Yep, I did look at KG6NLW up yesterday, and now I haven't looked on YouTube yet. I did look it up on QRZ. So I'll send it back to net, KSFQV.
Okay, Mark. Well, the way I look at it is if you show up on Supermon, you're fair game. And there are some net controls who criticize me for that, but sorry, it's my turn. I get to do it like I want, I guess. And I lived in Dayton, Ohio for quite a while when we were in the service, and I had a friend there, Frank Schwab was his name. His call was W6EK. And Frank's motto was, when he was out chasing stations and DX, if they say okay, I log them. And so that's the first corollary to seeing them on Superman, calling on them. Well, I wish you a good day, and I hope the sunshine eventually comes out, and thanks for checking in with us. Check out Frank's YouTube, KG6NLW, November Lima Whiskey. We got to come up with a phonetic for that, a better one, and see what you think. So thanks, Mark. Have a good one.
Yes, you all have a good one. KSFQV73, and I'll be listening out.
Okay, very good. KC6SLE, good morning, Graydon. What's new?
Good morning, Gerry. Good morning to the net. You brought back some memories with the mention of Wolfman Jack. I used to, as a beginning teenager in the mid-1960s, I used to, living in the Central Valley, I used to go out in the evening, right around dark, get into the family's 55 Mercury Montclair, fire up the tube radio, and I would, right at dark, you could start picking up Wolfman Jack out of Mexico. And I would listen to him for as long as I could. Usually about 10 o'clock, he would start fading away. Propagation would change. But in those days, the old 55 Mercury was a 6-volt car. It was even more strange than that. It was a 6-volt positive car. But if I listened for too long, I would run the battery down. And then the next day when my dad would get in to use the car, the battery would be dead. And he would not be happy. But I have fond memories of listening to Wolfman Jack from the 55 Mercury and on the ranch when I could get away with it.
Oh, that's so funny. I was probably doing very much the same thing. In 1965, I went to college in San Diego, and I thought, oh, how neat is this? Wolfman Jack, I think his studios were in L.A., but they transmitted on a radio station with the call signs X-Ray, Echo, Romeo, Bravo, XERB. And the transmitter was 50,000 watts in Tijuana. And so I thought, well, this will be great. I can listen to Wolfman Jack anytime. It's too stupid to realize he wasn't on all day long. But when I went down there, I pressed the button on my little 1964 Chevy 2 and brought up XERB, and it was a low-power religious station during the day. So that was very disappointing. The Mercury, 6-volt positive ground. You don't see that very much by 55. Probably had a bench seat up in front as well, not buckets, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew what bucket seats were in those days. That car had so much real estate inside. It was my first car. My dad gave it to me. It was my grandfather's car before he passed away. And then my dad gave it to me on the condition if I could get it running, I could have the car, because somewhere on Highway 99, he burned up the engine in it. It was the old 292 Y-block engine. And I was 14 years old, and he said, you can have the car if you can get it running again. Well, by 15, I had it running and was driving it around the ranch. So, yeah, I have a lot of fond memories with that car, and I have a lot of ugly memories with that car. It was a tank, but you could get a lot of people into that car and a lot of real estate inside.
That's the perfect car for taking to a drive-in movie. You drive up and there's people crammed. You probably have 14, 15 kids in there. And one, please, when you buy your ticket, right?
Yeah, I wasn't in the Mercury, but there was another time when I was one of the 3 people in the trunk of the car as we went to the drive-in movie theater, Sunrise Drive-In Movie Theater down in Fresno. And they had gotten wise to us, and we pulled into the drive-in theater. I was in the trunk with 2 other guys. And they had somebody stand out there and watch the car. And we kept pounding on the trunk lid saying, hey, let us out. And the people in the car were saying, no, I can't let you out. They're watching us.
Oh, now that's funny. Of course, you know, as a practical matter, they couldn't watch you forever. But, you know, the 15-year-olds who were selling the tickets, they knew what was going on, and they didn't care.
No, eventually we got out, but we missed the first part of the movie. Yeah. Yeah, we could talk a lot about growing up. You know, American Graffiti was so in parallel with the way I grew up in the Valley. And it was so right on with what was going on at the time with the car culture, cruising. Oh, I could tell you stories all day long about cruising the Main and Fresno on Belmont Avenue. But you've got a net to run. I'll turn it back to you. Good hearing from you, Gerry. Successfully, and for all those out in the park today, it's 35 here. It's going to be cool in the park till it warms up. Hopefully, Orion won't be running the lap till a little later this morning when at least it gets up into the 40s.
Yeah, it's 41 here. So, yeah, we did exactly the same thing you did, and I grew up at Stanford. And we had a Mel's drive-in up in San Mateo we'd go up to, and they were push gates, the waitresses were, so at the drive-in. So it was great fun. Hey, before you go, did you get much snow at your house? I see, and this is for Roy, WH70H, that Colfax got 3.5 inches.
We got about 2 inches. It snowed all day long, and the ground got cold enough that it held the snow. We got some accumulation, so it probably snowed more than 2 inches, but only about 2 inches accumulated, built up. Some of it stuck around yesterday, but by the end of the day it was gone. But it certainly held the temperatures down. Yeah, we didn't have a Mel's drive-in in Fresno. We had Bob's Big Boy. You probably remember Bob's Big Boy. And that was one end of the strip where we cruised. The other end of the strip was out by a park at the end of Belmont Avenue. So we'll have to talk about that someday. KC6 SLE, have a great night.
When I would drive home from L.A. up to the Bay Area, I would make it a point to stop in Fresno at that Bob's Big Boy. It was on Black Rock or Blackwell or Black something street. I remember the exit off 99 because I love their hamburgers and still do. Have a good one, and enjoy what's left of the snow. I know that Auburn got a light dusting of it, too, and so here to give us a report on the snow in Auburn none other than our own KB6SSN. Good morning, Tom. This is W6E.
Well, good morning, Gerry and Theta and the group and the net and the whole wide world out there. There's no snow. As a matter of fact, it's a little overcast, but no snow. We had a little dusting yesterday. It's still cold, but no snow, so that's a good sign. My timer has stopped. And I have to admit, I'm very impressed by Frank's YouTube page here. I'm looking at it now and have been monitoring for a while. He has his node configuration information up here, and then below it is Supermon 2, which I'd never seen before, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And that includes a live chat, so you can chat with everybody who's listening, and it's pretty darned cool. And we came up with a phonetics for his call sign there. Caleb gets 6 newly listed wives.
What was the W? Was it the word wife or wise with an S or an F?
Well, considering there's 6 of them, I believe it's plural, so W-I-V-E-S.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Very good. Well, Frank can make a note of that. And up is his page 2. I haven't logged into the chat. Are you there?
I am indeed. I chatted with Frank a little bit and saw another gentleman that was in there. Let me turn this screen here so I can see. Looks like 13 people are listening right now, so his webpage is doing better than mine.
Your webpage, Confederate Sun 1, has, according to you, quite a few subscriptions. I don't know if they subscribe, but I myself have gone over there and looked at probably everything you posted as of a few days ago and quite enjoyed it. I can't get live chat to come up here for some reason. I'm clicking on it and nothing happens.
So, Gerry, what you have to do is you have to actually be logged in to your YouTube account in order to use live chat. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and do nothing.
YouTube user, although I watch YouTube a lot. I don't sit there and play with all the little details of it, so I don't know, and I don't watch an awful lot of live feeds either, so those tend to bore me because there's vast amounts of doing nothing before something interesting happens, but not in the case here, because here is the live Coffee Break Net, and it is got all the information down below here on where to connect and listen. It's a world-famous net. You guys have built something quite interesting here. Speaking of building something interesting, something that's not very interesting you mentioned before is that Confederate Sun 1 is, Larry and I have a YouTube channel over there if you're interested in looking at old antique radios, vintage radios, and a couple of clowns playing with them. They're low-quality video, poor production value, your home movies look like they were made by Spielberg, right? That kind of thing. If you're into that, go check out our webpage. Larry gave me a teaser yesterday. He's got the whole front end of that Henry amp disassembled, trying to find out why the multimeter doesn't work. It appears to be the switch, but in any case, he's got a couple of videos coming our way here in the next day or two that will illustrate that. So if that kind of thing interests you, Confederate Sun 1's our YouTube page, and give it a look.
Okay, very good. And Frank came on while you were talking and said that to get the chat to work, I have to be logged into YouTube. Well, I haven't done that yet. I just was looking at it. So, Frank, thanks for the update. And I think the reason why I enjoy your videos is because the kind of videos that I would do just with my little iPhone 4 here or whatever I got, and it's just like what I would do. And I enjoy watching you working on those radios. So, yeah, keep going. And that's for everybody who wants to know what it is. It's on YouTube, Confederate Sun, S-O-N, not S-U-N, Sun, and then the number 1, not O-N-E. So what's, other than the Henry 4K amp, what's the latest?
Morning. The time is 8.
Well, the next project lined up, Gerry, is a Drake SSR1 receiver. It's an old shortwave receiver that they made. It's a very simple unit, actually.
Did we lose you, Tom? Well, Tom, I think the next project you need to work on is replacing the fuse in your radio.
Gerry, he was transmitting, but you weren't getting any audio.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Doug. I wasn't listening on the input, so I guess we'll cycle back one more time. Tom, are you back with us? Well, we'll come back to you. Got Jamie waiting in the wings here. KO6MJL. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, Nanette. I don't have much going on here, just updating the QRZ, and I thought I would get on and practice a little bit since I'm very rarely new at this, to see what everybody's up to. They say the more you get on, the easier it gets, so that's what I'm trying to do. Back to the net, KO6MJL.
Well, Jamie, there's some truth in that. What happens is you start getting a little over the mic fright. Plus, you start making friends. Those people you know, and you enjoy talking to them, and you know your conversation goes on, and it's like wandering into town and sitting down at the coffee table in the local restaurant with a group of guys and gals, and pretty soon it becomes your kind of quasi-family. So, yeah, keep that radio going, and if nothing else, blow the dust out of all the components.
Yeah, that's yesterday. I believe I got on to like 5 or 6 nets, just chatting with everyone. It's pretty interesting what people have to say out there.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get on one like us, and you got people checking in from all over the world. You're down in Salinas, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm in Salinas, California right now.
Okay, so what you can do is in the middle of the summer when we over here in the Central Valley are just cooking at 100 plus, and you're enjoying the nice fog bank, you can come on and crow about it. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Me and the hot weather don't get along. I think I'll stay right here where the weather's kind of nicer.
Yeah, that was my point. You can tease us about the fact that you're not bacon, but we are. Well, thanks for checking in, and have a good day.
Yeah, you guys too, and thanks for letting me chime in here. KO6MJL 73s.
7-3, Jamie. Thanks for checking in. It's good to hear you on. This is W6E. Now we have Sean, W1SCD, in Brattleboro, Vermont. Let's see, it's still morning there, isn't it, Sean?
And thanks so much for taking my call. It's a pleasure to hear you guys since I lived in the Bay Area for about 15 years.
Oh, you're an escapee. Where did you live in the Bay Area?
And when I first moved out, it was because I took a job at Apple. And so this week I was struggling to get my All-Star node set up. And I almost threw in the towel, but I finally got it going, and I'm just really blown away by the audio quality. And the guy I was working with in Wisconsin, who sort of turned me on to this whole thing, recommended this net, and it's just it's a real pleasure to have a laid-back conversation like this. And, you know, the ones that I can connect to locally, basically people just talk about what they had for lunch, so this is much more interesting.
Don't take that to the bank just yet. We also do that. There's a lot of just miscellaneous conversations on here, and we're glad you found us. We have the Coffee Break Net every morning, and it originated when the COVID thing hit. We always used to talk about the commute. When I was working, there would be, if you were to plot the usage on the repeater, there'd be two big spikes, one in the morning when everybody was driving to work, and one in the evening when we were driving home. And well, that kind of went away as the participants aged out and retired. So we started this to allow people to talk to each other once the COVID thing hit, and now it just continues. We've got nets on here. Monday night is the All Nodes net, where guys discuss the All-Star nodes, the Clear nodes, the Sherry nodes, and so forth. That's at, 6 o'clock our time, because we have a lot of folks in the East Coast who wanted to participate. We usually would have started at 7 or 7:30, and that was too late for them. So that starts at 6, and there's an Elmer's Net, all kinds of things. So just keep listening and join in. We're glad you're with us. And if you worked at Apple, you saw a lot of change in your days there.
And although I have to say it was one of the best companies I ever worked at, especially in the early days when I got there. It was 1989. You know, so many of the things I learned there just in terms of what makes a good product and ease of use and all that good stuff that they're known for. I took that with me through all the other jobs I worked at, and that's why I didn't throw in the towel this week with this node. I actually lost sleep over it. It was crazy. It's like I don't really need to be awake in the middle of the night thinking about nodes, but nevertheless, I persevered, and it's all good.
Indeed it is, and it sounds good. And we have one that we took with us in our motorhome when we did all our travels, and it's great fun. We went to Europe a few years ago, and I was able to check into this net from Greece and Croatia using the app on my phone. So it's all good. We have a fellow on here, I'm sure he's listening, KO6TH Greg, who went to school at Palo Alto High School, and he was in the computer club with, not Steve Jobs, well, Wozniak. So there's a lot of Apple connections right here on this very net. My guess is you hook up with him, you guys will talk for hours.
About listening to Wolfman Jack is there's a radio station down in Watsonville you're probably familiar with called KPIG, and I still stream them because it's another connection back to the Bay Area. Wonderful stuff.
It's great fun. Okay, well, I'm glad you found us, and congratulations on completing the node. It's working great. Don't fix it anymore.
Thanks so much, Gerry. Pleasure to speak to you this morning.
Likewise, Sean. 7-3s. Before I move on, take more check-ins, I want to go back to KB6SSN. Tom, are you still with us, or did you fall off the edge of the earth?
I'm hoping I'm still with you. I tested it on every other repeater, but I couldn't get this one to work for some reason.
That Brian, you know, he's such a jokester. He's probably listening. We have a setting here called KB6SSN, and when you turn it on, it filters you out.
Well, you know, if I were you, I'd have the same filter.
I have a switch on my radio. One side of it says ON, and the other one says KB6SSN.
Well, I would expect nothing less. I'm glad that I'm possessing such a large piece of real estate in your mind that you felt a switch was necessary. Anyway, 73s, have a great morning, Gerry. I hope whatever was going on, it doesn't go on again. KB6, as I said, 7-3.
I just wanted to make sure that you were okay. I guess you're not driving, so that wasn't an issue. But, yeah, you just went away. 7-3, Tom. Have a great day, and good luck with all the radios. This is the Coffee Break Net. This is W6E.
along with W6EWF. We're your hosts this morning. And for those of you who just tuned in late, why isn't Orion here? And the answer is because he's hosting one of his antenna workshops for all the new hams, or those who are studying, for his extra class license down in one of the parks in North Highlands, I think, somewhere like that. In any event, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to put up with me for a while. So who's out there wants to check in and continue this lively conversation? Come down.
Kilo Oscar 6, Indy Hotel Juliet.
Kilo Bravo 6, Lima Uniform Victor. Good morning.
K6 DCL, good morning.
Kilo November 6, Mike Juliet Bravo.
Whiskey Alpha 6, Yankee November Echo, quick in and out.
Papa Delta 9, November Oscar Whiskey in the Netherlands via Echolink, over.
At KO6TH, good morning.
Okay, I got KO6TH. I knew you were out there. Papa Delta 9 NOW in the Netherlands. Be back with you in a second. KN6YNE, KN6JB, K6DCL, KB6LUV, and KO6IHJ. Did I miss anybody? So let's see, KN6YNE, were you the in and out? I didn't make a note.
Whiskey Alpha 6, Yankee November Echo. Good morning. Yes, it's a quick in and out.
Well, good morning to you. What's new on your dance card for today?
That's another day to volunteer with the elder and disabled, helping them with their mobility aids. That's where I got to get out of here and quick in and out.
Oh, how nice that you do that. That can keep you busy all the time. Do I have your call sign right? Kilo Alpha 6, or was it Whiskey Alpha 6, Yankee November Echo?
Whiskey or wine. Whiskey Alpha 6, Yankee November Echo. This is Scott.
Yeah, I know Scott. I don't know why I was confused with the Kilo Alpha. I've always maintained that your name should be Wayne.
For some reason, it was my nickname for a long time when I was in high school. I ended up with a call sign. I just kept it.
That's funny. So what is it you do with the folks who need help?
Oh, get you into a little pitch here about our healthcare system in the U.S. If someone is in need of a mobility aid, like an electric wheelchair, electric scooter to get around, typically insurance takes 6 months to a year to get it approved. We step in with recycled equipment and make it available for dirt cheap or rent it very inexpensively while they're waiting for authorizations. Same thing with repairs. You know, if you're better chair confined, you want to get around a little bit, waiting 6 months in bed doesn't really cut it. So that's where we come in with our nonprofit, fixing the stuff, scrapping parts, making used parts available for dirt cheap, or if you can't afford it, we just give it away.
Well, Scott, that's a wonderful thing for you guys to be doing, and I salute you. One thing I've learned since I retired from the active duty workforce is how many people volunteer to do things in our society, and I am convinced that our world as we know it would come to a screeching halt if people didn't volunteer.
I commit to 20 hours a week doing this while I do consulting the rest of the time, consulting and development of
software, and yep, that AI stuff, which I enjoy a lot. I enjoy all of it. Sometimes it gets overwhelming trying to balance the two, paying job and volunteer.
And it's a time consumer. So I salute you for doing that, and on behalf of all of those who you benefit, thank you. And I finally figured out why I had the problem with your call sign. I was looking at all the check-ins on the list above you that I was writing down. It was kilo, 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 and then you. So I was on a roll.
That's okay. Anyway, I enjoy listening to the banter going on and giving everybody a hard time back and forth. It's good comedy to start off my day. Anyway, I got to get out of here, so I'll be listening, and you and Theta have a great one, and everyone else as well. W6EK listening.
Okay, Scott, I don't give anybody a hard time except maybe SSN, and he's retired Navy, so he's asking for it. But everybody else, no, all respect. Thanks for checking in, and have a great day. I'm going to go out of line here and go to the Netherlands. Papa Delta 9, November Oscar Whiskey. Good, I guess it's good evening to you.
Yeah, Gerry, almost. It's 15 minutes past 5 o'clock in the afternoon here, and thanks for picking me out. Yeah, well, it is very cold here. I'm watching some Olympics now and then with the ice skating. We are on now with some games. So yeah, that's why I'm watching, and I was just hooked on. With the net, a couple of days earlier, I was introduced by this net by Frank via his YouTube channel and his ways to connect. So I tried to connect, and yeah, here I am. And then he said, "Oh, Niels, we are here every day, that and that time." And when I'm available, then I will just check in via Echolink, because that's the easiest way for me to use. And yeah, I can't connect through the airwaves. I know, hi. But yeah, I'm just enjoying the whole net stuff, Gerry. Nothing much going on here. Just chilling for the weekend to start. My question is control PD9 NOW.
Okay, Neil, very good. Well, enjoy the Olympics. I see that your country is doing very well. So far, you've won 19 or so. So not bad. So, Neil, tell me, I'm looking at your QRZ webpage, and it shows your name as Neil on Wheels. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, I can tell you a little bit. As QRZ.com, it's like Facebook for ham operators, and I know that also people that are not having a call sign can log in and watch at your personal details. So that's why I'm not using my last name, my last real name on the online platform, and they call me Niels on Wheels because I'm in a wheelchair. So so yeah, that's why I'm on wheels, and that's why I fixed this call sign PD9 November Oscar Whiskey officially, and but for me it stands always Papa Delta 9 Niels on Wheels, you know. So that's the whole story behind it, and I'm wheelchair dependent. So yeah, around, half electric. And yeah, that's the whole story behind it. And I just passed my exam, my novice license last year, and I'm using Echolink, the digital modes. And later this year, I think September, October, they're gonna install the ham radio club here is gonna install the antenna and HF on my roof. So that's a little bit of a background story. Back to you.
Okay, Neil, this is W6EK Neil on wheels. I like it. I understand you're in a wheelchair, but take advantage of that and use it instead of your last name. That makes a lot of sense, especially given the security we don't seem to have on the internet this year. Well, I look forward to hearing about you getting up on HF. A lot of us here are on HF as well, and maybe we can work you direct. Meanwhile, thank you for checking in. It's a pleasure to have you with us. We'll look for you from now on.
Yeah, very good, Gerry, and thanks for picking me out. It's very nice to hear some activity on the notes and on the digital links, and yeah, you name it. There's so much choice, but I will manage through it. Thank you again.
Very good, Neil. Yeah, we've known a lot of people from the Netherlands, and they all speak English very well, as do you. So it's a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for joining us, and I'm glad we could entertain you. Moving right along, back up to the top, KO6, I hate jerks. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, KO6 ISJ here. I'm glad that happened. I had time to get a cup of coffee, take my pillow, and drop the kids off at the pool. Today is going to be a day in the shack. I got to do a couple videos for Mr. KB6SSN to his approval for putting on the YouTube channel. I'm drawing a blank. I got something else to do, but it's not coming to me.
You have to figure out why the meter isn't working on the Henry 4K amp, we are told.
Yes, I've gone through it and troubleshooted and everything, and that's what the video is going to be, is me actually showing everybody the voltages. Open system, open case, 220 volts. Yeah, this could be fun.
And make sure you have the camera on you when you touch that 220 volt wire so that we can all watch your hair jump straight out.
I'm going to straighten my beard because I got nothing on top. So other than that, I'm going to let you go. Hey, I'm looking forward to that ham fest. I'm getting the dead presidents all gathered up my wallet so we can go out there and have some fun. I look forward to seeing everybody. So I'm going to let you go with the KO6 ISJ 73. Thanks for running the net. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, we're looking forward to the Ham Fest too. And if you're wondering what Ham Fest we're talking about, we're sponsoring a Ham Fest on the 28th of March, I believe, at Dark 30. So come one, come all. It's here in Loomis at 6 o'clock in the morning for, I don't know, 6 or 7. If you get there by 7, everything is pretty well sold. So, come one, come all. It's at the Loomis train station in Loomis, California. KAB6LUV. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Gerry, Theta, Rocky, everybody out there in Coffee Break Net land. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. It is a lovely day, morning here in South Potomac. As I sit here with my mom, Bonnie from Newton, Kansas, and my wife, Lee, who are also kind of listening in. Looking out at that orange ball in the sky and enjoying the morning. It's going to be a nice day. Maybe get out on Little Red Scoot through the hood. We'll see. How about you? What do you got planned for the day, Gerry?
Oh, good morning to you and your mother. And you're going to get on a little red motor scooter and go zipping around today?
Power appointed.
Hang on a second.
Not sure who's trying to break in. I don't know. Was somebody trying to break?
KB5VAO, did you want to check in? not sure what that was, but I see him on Superman. So back to the little red ankle breaker.
Yeah, luckily enough, that little red ankle breaker is not too much of an ankle breaker. I'm low and slow these days. You know, at my age, nothing needs to be fast and quick. So no, it's nice and slow. Just going through the neighborhood. No freeway. But anyway, that's about all I got planned for today. Going to actually go out to lunch with my work colleague, friend. Going to go out with my wife. Gerry, going to go out to lunch. Going to head out to some really nice Indian food here in West Sac. And then I don't know what's on tap for the rest of the day or weekend. Maybe a little bit of house stuff. I've got to cut some wires for an antenna antenna bill that I got through Simone, W6EK. Thanks again, sir. Appreciate you. So yeah, that's about all I got going. I'll make it quick. Oh, say hi, Mom.
Good morning, Theta and Gerry. Yes, I remember that ankle breaking incident. I was here for it, and so I'm glad that he's changed equipment. So nice to hear he wish you all. Have a good day.
Well, good morning, Bonnie. Good to hear you on. Yeah, you keep that young boy in line there. Don't let him go out. It's not the freeways, Brett. It's just driving around casually that's going to get you. And it's not your driving, mind you, but it's the others that seem to have you squarely in their crosshairs. So be careful with that. As for me, I'll probably go out and work a little bit more on the motorhome. We had so much junk in that thing, cleaning it out. And I have to practice. I'm flying solo tomorrow at church instead of having the usual group of people I play with. So I get the big bucks for that, meaning I don't get paid anything. So we'll have a good day. It's supposed to be sunny, high about 60, so not too bad. Sure beats Kansas, huh, Bunny?
Well, it depends. I think it's been raining weather for a few of those days, so it was like 50 back here, and it was a lot less than that here. So pretty back and forth, but that's the way it is in Kansas. If you don't like the weather, you wait.
So true, so true. Brett, 7-3s, have a good day.
Thank you very much, sir. Deeply appreciate it. You and all out there in Coffee Break Net, have a great day. Everybody be blessed. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. KUB6, LUV. View of love, 7-3. Clear and listen.
Okay, you do know the last three letters of your call sign are the stock symbol for Southwest Airlines, right?
Yeah, too bad I don't get Southwest Airlines money for the last three letters in my call sign. Hi. 7-3. Thanks for the chuckles.
Royalty. Okay, 7-3s. K6 DCL. Good morning, Dave. This is W6EK.
K6DCL, good morning. How are you this morning? You sound good, and it's interesting to hear you on the radio all the time this morning, so thank you. Hang on a second, I gotta turn down the radio.
Okay, well, hopefully you get that turned down. Give me my latest update on tank.
But to get to the radio.
Okay, well, you're back. Give me the latest on tank. Is he going to be playing next year?
I just wanted to say good morning to you, and good to hear you. Good morning to everybody on the net. It's been a good net this morning with people that are from different countries even. So that's cool. And anyway, other than that, everything's good here. I had a epidural shot midweek, and that seems to have worked better than I thought. So that's good. And acupuncture on Thursday, that's good. So anyway, life is good, Gerry. And say hi to Theta. K6DCL.
Okay, Dave. Well, it sounds like you were getting poked and prodded all week long with all that acupuncture and epidurals and whatnot. So I'm glad they worked. Do you have any sort of an update on Tank for us? Is he going to be playing this year?
So March he goes back to work, so I don't know what he's going to do. Even his mother is a little bit elusive about what he's going to do there with the Ravens. For some reason he loves being there, and not sure, Gerry, but I'll announce whatever he's going to do anyway when he gets there. It's really weird. K6DCL. I wish I had good news, but good news, he's still working. He goes back and.
Okay, Dave. Well, we'll follow along with you. We're kind of, the whole net is enjoying his career kind of vicariously through you, so it's your duty to keep us updated. And right now he's still employed, so that's a good report. Thanks for checking in with us, and have a good day.
Well, no problem at all. And by the way, his mother says he's making really good money being on the practice team, and they really enjoy him being there. So, whatever, he's following his dream, and wish he would get to play. K6DCL. See you later.
Yeah, advise the young man to put that money away and save it, because it could dry up really quick. Don't go out and blow it on parties and fancy airplanes like we see others doing in the newspaper. 7-3, Dave. Have a good one. And now back to Tennessee. Thomas, good morning. KM6MJB, W6E.
Good morning. Not too much happening here, actually. It's a little lonely. Christina is now actively in your neck of the woods. She got in about 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that, your time. Long trip to get there. Ended up having to go to Arizona as a change planes, that kind of a thing. But don't unfortunately have too much of an update on Ray, other than as of last night, he is doing okay, I guess you could say. The nurse lovingly called him a hot mess express, but nothing that a good tune-up wouldn't fix. But yeah, where Christina's supposed to be going to the hospital later today, or this morning at some point whenever she gets up and moving, to go get more.
Did you stop transmitting, or did your node cut off?
A little bit of both. I was all done with the transmission, and then before I got a chance to pull my finger off of the PTT, it yelled at me.
Yeah, that's what it didn't sound like a normal termination. Well, I don't have an update on Ray. Brian was telling about him yesterday. We're talking about KK6AM, Thomas's father-in-law. So I don't know what the problem was. Brian, are you listening by any chance? Can you give everybody an update of what went on?
Well, this is Thomas. I can still do that. Basically, we hadn't heard from him for a couple of days, and he hadn't checked into the net, so Brian volunteered to go down and check in on him, do a wellness check. Found him, and he was not in such great shape. So we got him over to the hospital. Brian facilitated getting all that done, which was amazing, and we are super grateful. And he was in the ER most of the day yesterday into the early evening. Let me let this break so it doesn't yell at me again. He was in the ER for most of the day yesterday, and then at some point last night got admitted up into a room at Sutter Auburn Faith. The biggest concern that they had as of last night was he was severely hypothermic and had a touch of pneumonia. So they're still, as of last night, we haven't gotten an update today. They're still trying to figure exactly what happened. So yeah, that's kind of where we sit for now.
Well, our thoughts and prayers will be with him. He is the kind of like Statler and Waldorf on the Muppets, keep us all in line here. And so we'll keep us informed on what's going on. And I'm so happy that Brian went down and looked in on him. Otherwise, not sure how long he would have stayed there. In some sense, Thomas, this is a big family. I remember a few years ago when Clyde, AB4CC, broke his leg up skiing. You know, it was one of those things, I'm still 29, I can do what I want to. And a couple of the guys went up and picked him up and drove his car back and whatnot. So when needed, the help is there, and that's a good feeling. So please keep us informed of how he's doing. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, we will definitely keep you guys updated. I sent Christina down with a HT, so as soon as she gets a minute or two, she'll be able to check in. She had a long day with the travel yesterday, so I'm sure she'll be checking in and wanting to see people at some point once we figure out what's going on. Somehow, even though the club is growing and booming, they still find a way to keep an eye out on everybody. It's pretty awesome, actually. Let me let this break. Sorry, still trying to get used to this new node and figure out how exactly it works. Everything here is doing fine. I'm doing great. Trying to, it's funny, I talk to the dog and the cat all the time. You being a dog owner, I'm sure you do also. But I'm finding I'm consoling the dog more often because Christina's not around. He's been moping around. Last night he refused to come upstairs for a couple of hours. Just kind of stayed at the front door, looking at it, waiting for her to come walking in. And she's not going to anytime soon. She's down there, but. I had a full-blown, probably 20-minute conversation with the dog, and I might be next. You guys might need to check in on me soon.
I don't know. We'll need to check in on you. We understand exactly what you're doing. We talked to our dog, and somehow he's able to answer. You can tell by his expressions and his reactions to things. You know, like when you tell him he's a bad dog, he knows, and he looks downtrodden. You want to say something?
Tell about the chicken.
Oh, hang on a second. Theta has a comment.
This is W6EK. I was encouraging Gerry to tell about the chicken episode last night. The dog was outside, and he was not interested at all in coming in, and we opened the door, and he dances away. Like, you come out here. I don't want to go in there. And Gerry says, we put chicken in your bowl. And he ran inside and ran upstairs and ran straight over to the bowl. And you say chicken, and he looks up at you like, oh, okay, chicken, yes. So he knows that word. So we do understand what you're going through.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I always laugh because people, those statements go out there in the universe, the crazy cat lady, the crazy dog person. Yes, we are all crazy with our pets. The weird thing is you start recognizing the micro expressions of the dog and start correlating what those responses are. And you're never 100% sure if it's accurate or not, but Yeah, when you can have a back and forth conversation with your dog for about 20 minutes, and you're fairly certain that it wasn't just one-sided. Yeah, that's an interesting evening.
Indeed it is, and there are many discussions I've heard on this subject. Do you talk to your dog, yes or no? And if you do, are you crazy? Well, there's an advantage in having people think you're crazy, because then you no longer have to explain things you do. They just say, well, that's Thomas, he's crazy, and that's the end of it. We had discussions like this with our horses. When we had horses, they were just big dogs, and I'd go out in the pasture and be working on something, and the horses would be hovering over my shoulder. What are you doing? What are you doing? So, yeah, I think all animals are that way. In any event, I'm glad that you're able to have that conversation with your dog. I'm sure he'll get used to having just you there, although we can tell who his favorite is.
Yeah, it's funny. Christina always complains that she thinks I'm the dog's favorite because he mopes around a little bit when I'm not home and is, waiting at the door for me, et cetera, and she doesn't see that because she, works from home and everything. And I keep trying to tell her, the rare occasions that you leave, because you don't leave very often and you're not gone for very long, he's inconsolable. He won't even cuddle with me right now. He just is sitting at the door, staring, waiting for her to hear. So I'm fairly certain I know who the favorite is. And, same dog, same.
Oh, well. Anyway, life goes on. You got yourself a new house. Have you got the landscaping all done and so forth, or has the snow come before you got a chance to do that?
We got a lot. Last summer we had the sod. We had Bermuda sod that was supposed to be grabbing in, and it did pretty well over most of the yard. There's still a bunch of spots that are kind of barren, but that stuff goes into hibernation as soon as it starts getting cold. So it is, our front lawn and backyard are completely brown at the moment, but so is everybody else's. I didn't get the pre-emergent down in time, so I'm starting to get those, as it warms up here, starting to get those little patches of weeds that I've been going out and picking. But no, everything's working out. I just built 3 4-foot by 4-foot cedar planters that are about 22 inches tall that I'm digging into the backyard so that we can do vegetables and stuff this summer. I know I'm getting a little bit of a late start, but should be able to do and then my hope is to start some asparagus, which I know the first year of asparagus doesn't really take, but subsequently after that I should be able to keep a running crop. I didn't realize that stuff is basically grass, and yeah, you just kind of mow it and it grows back.
Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. And as long as it tastes good, I guess it's okay. When we lived in Ohio, I remember the big deal was dandelions, and trying to keep them out of your lawn was almost impossible. I also remember going golfing, and if you didn't stay on the fairway and you were over in the rough, where I seemed to be quite a bit, there were these dandelions, and they all had the little white, round, fuzzy head on them. And when your white golf ball got lost in the field of white fuzzy dandelions, it was almost impossible to find. So it made a good argument for golfing with an orange golf ball.
It's funny, this is completely unrelated to golf balls. Well, I guess not compared to what you just said. But I was just having this discussion with my older brother the other day, and how, when I was younger, growing up in the 90s, everything had to be cool. I wanted it to be, clear. When in the early 2000s, when I got my first car, I took off all the badges, so it was super stealthy and nobody knew what kind of car it was, and wanted to write my name on anything because it just ruined it. It wasn't cool. And now that I've gotten older, I'm like, everything must be the brightest color possible. I write my name on everything. I don't know at what age that shifted, but visible became the cool thing.
I don't know, it reminds me of something my dad used to say, and that is, old we get too soon, smart we get too late. So maybe you're just changing early. Well, thanks for checking in with us, and tell Christina we'd like to hear from her and hoping the best for her dad. And keep your radio on, and maybe we'll get some updates one way or another.
Yes, of course. We treat this club like it's an extended family, which has its ups and downs sometimes. But as soon as we know more information, we will be passing it along. This is KN6MJB, and I'll be listening in.
Yes, an extended dysfunctional family. Good to hear you on, Thomas. Have a great day. This is W6EK. Greg, K06TH. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gerry. Good morning, everyone. Greg, K06TH, survived the episode at the medical procedure yesterday. Nothing seems to be wrong. They've taken some samples, just normally kind of stuff while they're in there. But yay! So hopefully we'll get the report back that I don't need to do this for another 10 years, and thankful for that when it comes. Let's see, nothing else going on really. Just today was mopping up my life from having to go through that, and just chilling about a bit, and probably do some errands. I got some things to get for the boat. One always has things to get for a boat. Do that this afternoon, and dry out basically for a bit, and get ready for the next one. KO6TH, back to you.
This is W6EK. Well, I know you well know that the definition of a boat is a hole in the water into which you throw money, and listening to you that you bought that thing, and that certainly is true. That's also true similarly with airplanes and RVs and horses and anything else. You can spend untold sums of money. So it's been a while since I had that medical procedure done. And my recollection of it is the worst part was drinking that stuff in advance. It's been a number of years. Please tell me that they've improved the stuff and it goes down easy like a good soft drink.
They have improved things since, let's see, last time I had it was 9 years, well, last time, other than last December when I had to have it. But last time as a normal diagnostic kind of thing was about 9 years ago. And it wasn't that, I guess they had just come out with the better way of doing it. The problem, so back in December when I was in the hospital, they put me through the old procedure, which was you drink this stuff which wasn't half bad. It was, it just wasn't tasty, but, in itself wasn't a big deal. But then every 15 minutes you had to drink like another cup of water, and it just continually drinking, and eventually it came back out. We won't go into details, but this time it was it wasn't that continual drenching of fluids. It was you drink 16 ounces of this ucky stuff, which wasn't that bad. It tastes kind of like tastes a little bit like Sprite without the fizzy. And then you drink, you have an hour to do that, and then the next hour you have to drink twice more of that in just water. And I finished it up within an hour, basically. It wasn't that bad. And then 12 hours later you do it again. And then, I guess then that was next morning. Yes, that was Friday morning. And then the procedure was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But then you're on the drip once you get to the hospital. So that kind of puts everything, the hunger goes. It's the nothing solid the day before is still annoying. and other stuff you have to do, or that I because of all 80 meters on you guys, but there's more stuff I had to do, so that took the week before, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah, it has improved, but it's still every 10 years is about it. KO60H.
Well, I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but I now seem to be at the point where I don't have to do those. I'm right on the cusp. The theory is that at my age, if they find cancer, it won't grow to a point before I die of old age. So I guess that's the advantage. And what I recall about drinking that stuff was it was like drinking seawater, just absolutely foul tasting stuff. And then they tried to cheer it up by making some lemon taste to it or something like that. That did not help. So anyway, hopefully the results will come back negative, and that's exactly what you want. Hang on.
This is AI6US. Can we, next time he comes up, let's go ahead and contact him. I'm trying to block his node.
Okay, and I just disconnected him. I had done it once before, and I did call him, and it was quiet. So I will do if I see him come back up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just put a blacklist on it, so hopefully that won't happen again. And I'm sending an email to him now.
Very good. There was a station kept coming up and causing interference, so we took care of that. So, Greg, back to you. Are you head down to the boat this weekend?
I was going to head. The plan before all this medical stuff was to head down today because of the weather window. I may go tomorrow. I may go. I'm hoping Monday will probably be better just for travel. All the crazy folks are coming up and down for the mountain. But one of these 2 days I'll head out there. I need the stuff I need to get for the boat isn't a big deal. I need a better nozzle for the hose, and I was going to get like a Y splitter so I can put my hose in the neighbor's hose on the little spigot thing at the same time without interfering with each other. So no big deal on the boat parts. It's not those kind of parts yet. But next big step though is to I'm going to try to get a hold of get the folks down in Berkeley who do the electric conversions to get with them to come up to Richmond and do a walkthrough with me of what I want to do. It's not exactly what they usually do, so I want to walk through the details with them. And if all goes well, give them some money to start ordering parts and get on with it. But in the meantime, the big thing that I wanted to go down now was between storms is that one of the things I repaired, or think I repaired, was a leaky hatch, and or one of the window things. And it seemed to survive the hose, but I don't know if it'll survive the storm. And I wanted to see if any water came in. Yours works, but I don't want to use that. KO60H, back to you.
Well, I hope that your boat survived okay, but now you've raised another issue, and this really concerns me. Here you are, a seasoned sailor, and you refer to the windows on your boat as those little see-through things.
It's a technical term, isn't it? The see-through things. We'll figure that out. Anyway, on with the net. You guys have a good one, and everybody stay dry. Wring the stuff out if it got wet, and on with the week. Hopefully things will go well, or things have gone well down in Richmond, and when I get down there next couple of days, it'll all be dry inside. Rob. A couple people are recommending putting a heater inside. I have that on, so hopefully it'll stay dry enough. And we'll see about season sailor part of it. I'm not there yet. Not even close. KO60H.
Comment.
Seasoned maybe, sailor yet to be seen. Very good, Greg. Have a good one. Thanks for checking in with us. This is W6E, and this is the Coffee Break Net. And as is tradition, we need to know what the days of the week are for the national days. So I'll give that to Theta. She's got all that research done.
Quick comment.
And this is W6EWF. The national day is today. It is International Language Day. There are 7,000 spoken languages, and 4,000 of them have a written component. And 3,000 don't. So there you go. It is Real Bread Week. We can celebrate real bread. And it's also Sticky Bun Day. Yes, sticky buns. It's Grain-Free Day. No, that doesn't fit. We're going to ignore Grain-Free Day. It is celebrations of the King of Nepal and the King of Norway. They not necessarily celebrate together, but it just happens to be days honoring them. It's Card Reading Day, and I looked at that, and what is Card Reading Day? It's the day that you read all the greeting cards that you have been saving, that you have been given. Obviously, this is another Mark holiday. Right. If you don't have cards to read, go out and buy more greeting cards, right? And it is World Pangolin Day. Poor pangolins. Some fools have decided that their scales are natural Viagra, and so they are seriously endangered. Celebrate the pangolin and don't go hunting them for their scales. Anyway, those are the national days. The one so far that strikes best with me is the Sticky Bun Day, so we might have to have sticky buns. I don't know where I'm going to find one of those. Anyway, those are the national days. If anybody has a preference on those, let us know. Otherwise, I'm going to give you back to Gerry, and we'll call the next batch of people. Remember, if you want to be in and out, we will put you at the top of the list if you tell us that.
Comment.
Okay, this is W6E. I'm going to go out and celebrate the King of Norway, the birthday. I'm all over that. Okay, so who wants to participate in the net?
M6 RFB in and out. In and out. November 2, Delta Yankee India.
And comment. KG6 and LW with a comment.
KV6ED in and out.
K3VGM in and out, please.
Okay, what I have so far, I know I missed a couple. KM6 RFB Scott for in and out into DYI, KG6 NLW with a comment, KV6ED in and out, and N3 GMS. Who did I miss?
AI6JB in and out.
KE3AJN in and out.
KC1VLK in and out.
Okay, I got Orion, Anna, and KC1BLJ. So let's do this quickly. AI6JB, Orion, I know you're out there getting ready for your class, so go ahead.
Well, first of all, thank you, Gerry and Theta, for taking my Coffee Break Net. Yes, as a matter of fact, we're setting up at 9 o'clock. Your timing is impeccable. And we'll be on the air probably close to about noon, and we'll be doing digital. So Anders is going to do FT8, and I'm going to do PSK31.
Good morning.
Oh, so maybe I should attend your class to learn about that.
43 degrees.
You must be on the bleeding edge of technology because I've never heard of FT2.
Comment, KO6TH?
Was there a comment I doubled with somebody?
Yeah, Gerry, it's Greg. KO6TH. I've invited Brian, who's played a little bit with FT2, to come to this coming week's In the Shack. Give a quick demo. Hopefully, schedules will line up and he can do that. But yeah, FT2, hopefully, In the Shack on Wednesday. KO6TH.
So there you go, Orion. That whet your appetite a little bit.
All right, will do. I'll show up for if I'm not in the middle of my bid, I'll show up for Wednesdays In the Shack and look forward to it. So anyway, thanks for dropping me in there real quick, and you guys have a wonderful day. AI6KB 73.
7 things. Good luck with the call with the class. And before I go up to Scott, KG6NLW, Frank, you have a quick comment?
I actually have two here. Greg and Gerry, I thought they were looky-loos, the windows on boats. I thought they were looky-loos. And Theta, Rayleigh's has the best sweet buns out there. So, if Rayleigh's is right down the street for you, go get some. And then my last thing, Brian, email received. Hopefully the audio was adjusted properly and that one station is back up on the Supermon page. Just an FYI. KG6NLW. Back to you, Gerry.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Yeah, and I did see that. And Scott, good morning, KM6RFB. This is W6E.
Good morning, Gerry and Theta. Yep, just click in and out. I'm out running errands right now. I had to go to Lowe's and pick up some spacers to finish up the terminated folded dipole resistor component, and then I'll start working on the each leg of the terminated folded dipole this afternoon or tomorrow, hopefully. And then I had to run over to Michael's to get some model paint for the train layout. That's all I've got.
It sounds like a busy day. What scale train layout do you have?
I have HO scale, converting a lot of it from old DC to DCC, and it takes up an entire room in my house.
I almost hate to ask this, but from DC to DCC, what does that mean? I know what DC is.
So with DC, you can run one locomotive at one time on the track. With DCC, it has an encoder inside the locomotive that allows you to run multiple locomotives at the same time on the same track.
So can you run them different directions?
You can do anything you want with them. It also allows you to add sound and everything. So I'm taking 1970s technology locomotives that weren't designed for it, and the motors draw too much amperage for the circuit board, so I'm having to, I sourced new motors for the locomotives, and then I add the circuit board to the locomotive, and so now it's a simple conversion. It just takes some time. WB1G with a question.
And KG6NLW with another comment.
Related, I used to be into model trains and DC model trains. DCC, I'm not familiar with it either. Is there some kind of pulse code modulation that travels on the DC rail, and does the second locomotive decode that and identify its signal? You're a ham. How does it work?
So you're pretty close. So each locomotive has a circuit board, an encoder in it, and you assign it a number. So like on typical locomotives, it's a 4-digit number. So you assign that locomotive, say 3201. You can
and then it sends the signal to that locomotive to run independently of the other locomotive.
Like a MAC address.
Yeah, pretty much like a MAC address, exactly. So what it allows you to do, it allows you to do multiple things on the same track at the same time without doing one locomotive at a time.
And KG6 and LW with another comment.
Smitty, you were dropping out. Yeah, try again, Smitty. You're dropping out for some reason. Yeah, so what I'm hearing, Scott, is you got, looks like DC on the rails all the time. You use the MAC addresser addressing to tell the locomotive what to do, and it doesn't depend upon the polarity of the DC in the track, right?
That is correct, yes. And so it allows for multiple operations at the same time, which is kind of nice. So I can be running something on the main line and do something in the yard, and then if I want something sitting on a spur or an exterior track, I can do that all at the same time.
And a further comment, KG6 and LW.
Go ahead, comment.
KG6 and LW. Yeah, to add on to that, you can also, it's basically like real life as well. You can run stuff in MU configuration. So you can have like 3 or 4 or 5 locomotives, and you can control all of them just with the one, like 3201's engine number, and you tell 3202, 03, 04 to MU to 3201, and they all get the same command at once. And Scott, tell me you're an SP guy without telling me 3201.
SP, the Black Widow, the SP Daylight, absolutely, and the old SF Santa Fe with the war bonnet.
Oh, absolutely. You're speaking my language there, especially with the SP. Look up Kilo 7 Sierra Papa Romeo K7 SPR. It's the club that I founded. I think you'll like it.
Specific messages to different devices on one cable.
Okay, Frank, stand by. And the other comment was, I'm not sure who it was. Try it one more time. And the last I heard from you was the word cable.
KB6UV, Brett here. We'll try this one last time. I was going to say, I don't know if Smitty's still listening, but you can liken the transmission to MIDI, like with the various devices you might use for either DJing or if you're familiar with music, MIDI music stuff. You can send multiple messages to different devices on one cable. KB6UV 73.
Okay, thanks, Brett. And Scott, too bad you're going to be running around. Obviously, the model train subject has quite a few adherents, and we got some quick in and outs to do.
Yeah, if anybody wants more information, they can get a hold of me. I'm good in the club roster. They can get a hold of me. I'll send them pictures of what I'm doing, and I'm also 3D printing a lot of the field, the stuff for the scenery, and so I'm looking at getting a new printer right now. I'm looking at getting Elgo, a resin printer, which does finer detail. But yeah, it's been a challenge converting 70s technology to 2025 technology and making it all work. But it's fun.
A few years ago, I went down to Cal Expo with a friend who was a UP dispatcher. And they had the model railroad show there along with guns or something like that. And they had all these plastic molded locomotives sitting on a rail on a display, one of the vendors. and they had their lights on, and and it sounded like they were idling, and every now and then the pop-off valve for the air compressor would go off, and it was so neat. All righty, well, let's move along here. Scott, thanks for checking in with us, and have a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all part of the encoder. You can add realistic sounds to the locomotive and everything. You can even do the same thing with steam locomotives. You can hear the chugging of the wheels. All right, thanks, Gerry, and thanks, Theta, for running the net. This is Kilo Mike 6, Romeo Foxtrot Bravo, clear back to net.
Okay, 7-3, and KB6ED, Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry. Good morning, Theta and the net. And earlier I sent you an email, and I didn't actually make reference into it as to why. But you were talking about Kilauea going off, and then there was also talk about YouTube videos. And I was just decided I wanted to send you a video of this idiot out playing with the lava, the molten lava, and so you can look for that in your inbox. And that's all I really have. I just say good morning and let you carry on with the net. KB6ED.
Well, I wasn't checking my email, but I see yours there. And I have seen some YouTube videos of people out sticking sticks into the hot lava. Theta and I went out and walked on the lava after an eruption, and we were quite a ways from the active part, and it was still hot enough to make me turn around and leave. It was coming up through my running shoes. So yeah, what did that wise philosopher Forrest Gump say? Stupid is as stupid does. Also, that's a Darwin candidate.
Yeah, I was out there definitely at a time where the wind was blowing the right direction to carry the fumes away, but could have easily shifted. And there were also some big bubbled up areas that had kind of the sides blown out, where every once in a while it would outgas just like a torch. So walking around that kind of stuff was pretty silly, but and the lava tore up tennis shoes and melted the bottoms, and I was actually running across it trying to keep up with some friends. I had a water bottle in my hand, and I tripped, and I didn't want my hands to hit that fresh, broken up lava, because it can really just instantly, it was like broken glass, broken glass. Anyway, I tried to catch myself with that water bottle and ended up jamming through my fingers and knocking my center finger out of its socket. But like I said, quick in and out. So enough of that. KB6ED.
Before you go, Ed, did you ever get to see Kilauea actually fountaining like it is now, up to 1,500 feet, or when we were there, it was just oozing?
Yeah, when I was there, it was oozing and just little, kind of like little rivers running down the slope, something that you could walk up next to, as we did, and I grabbed up a piece of lava and just poked at it, a piece of hardened lava. I actually ended up bringing it home. I liked the idea of owning a rock that had not been a rock the day before.
That's an interesting way to look at it, but you don't want to annoy Madame Pele.
Yes, indeed. My sister carried some of that stuff home, and she got home and decided, since I was still living there, that she would mail it to me and asked me to take it right back to the same place that she picked it up. She said she'd never had such a set of experiences, and she decided that's why. So anyway, I honored her request.
Yeah, I've read the stories in the visitor center there at the national park. So very good. Well, have a good day, and thanks for checking in with us.
Enjoying the net as always. 7-3.
7-3. N3 GMS, Gulf Mike Sierra, good morning.
Comments, I was actually KA3 VGM using N3 GMS's node.
Okay, I wondered. I didn't pick it up when the avalanche of calls was coming, but I saw it on Supermon. Yeah, very good. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Gerry. I was just about to tell you that, but I had to bring the IAX RPT client back in focus. It wouldn't key itself up, so I had to bring it back in focus. Good morning to Theta. Good morning to Rocky and everybody else on the net. I'm checking in late this morning because I checked into the blind AF net earlier, but I wanted to come down here and say good morning to you people as well. So everybody back there, have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, for VGM is clear, thanks.
Okay, Jimmy, always a pleasure to have you on. I'm glad you went in with us, and yeah, what you really meant to say was you wanted to come down here where all the action was, right?
Yeah, this net is more active. They do say more on this net than they do on the other ones, so you're definitely more active than they are.
Yeah, that's right. Over here you get to talk about volcanoes erupting and model trains, so all kinds of subjects here. Thanks for checking in, and have a great day.
You too, Gerry. KA3 VGM is clear.
Okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry for the mix-up in the call. I just, I'm not as quick as I used to be. And are you still with us? KD3AJN, this is W6EK.
Hello, Gerry and Theta and everyone else on the net today. Well, this morning we had a social in our community room at our building, and went down there and spent some time visiting with people and had a nice time. Later we're going to be going out to dinner with my niece for my birthday, which was last Tuesday. And it's very sunny out today and only in the 30s, but the sun's out and we're expecting some snow. Not much. They keep changing it. Everyone have a great day and a great weekend. KD3AJN.
Okay, Anna. Well, the social aspects, that's always fun. Sit around. Well, this is what we're doing now, except we're not face-to-face. We're drinking our coffee and chatting with everybody. I know you're in Pennsylvania. Which part of the state? Are you east, west, or in the middle?
Western Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh.
Oh, very good. You're over there by Roy, WH7DH. He's in Freedom, Pennsylvania. So, very nice. I have a cousin lives in Pittsburgh. I saw on the news the other day that Pittsburgh's one of the fastest growing cities in the country. I had to scratch my head, but that's what it said.
I did not hear that, but I'm not surprised. And also, Roy is in our radio club, Roy and Mickey. And they were just at the meeting the other night we had.
Oh, how funny. I didn't realize you were that close together. How nice. It is a real small kind of family, isn't it? They were in our radio club here for a long time, and when they moved, we missed them. But thanks to radio, we can still chat with them.
That's really nice. I really enjoy getting on nets and talking to people and learning different things. Everybody talks about different activities, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is, and the stories and the experiences, everybody's a little bit different, and it makes for some really interesting conversations. So, enjoy.
Sorry, I had to change radios. My battery was dying. But yeah, it's very interesting that, people are still connected even though they're so far away from each other. And I love it. Well, my phone's ringing, so I will talk to you later. Everybody have a good day. KD3AJN.
Yeah, that's the danger of having fun with the radio. You run out of battery. 7-3 to you. Let's see. Next on my list is, I think I have the call correct, Kilo Charlie 1, Victor Lima Juliet. Is that right? KC1BLJ, are you there? Okay, well, apparently not. Since we have ones going here, WV1G, Smitty, are you back with us? Okay, well, apparently Smitty's doing something more important. This is W6EK, and this is the Coffee Break Net. Who wants to join us? Come. Well, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm getting chewed out by my co-producer here. Patrick, I'm sorry. I specifically jumped over you because you were not in and out. My apologies. I will do 10 push-ups.
Oh, that's okay. I don't really have all that much anyway. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. Into DYI. We had a nice day here yesterday. It was ridiculously warm. It got up to 77 degrees here, and in Charlotte, apparently, it got up to 83 and broke all the records. And at home, they have blizzard conditions happening. So, yeah, a bit of a miss thingy there.
Yeah, I guess so. How long are you going to be down in North Carolina?
Well, the plan is to be here until I'm not.
I have to think about that. That's pretty deep. I think all of us could say that.
Yeah, don't have any immediate plans to go anywhere anytime in the coming days. Maybe I'll reevaluate things in the spring. I don't know. Not really in a rush.
Yeah, your comment reminds me of other great phrases like "wherever you go, there you are," and when you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
Yeah, my dad, when I was little, he would go, "Well, what are you doing?" And I would say, "Oh, I don't know." And he was like, "Well, how do you know when you do it?" I'm like, "I don't know." And yeah, we just kind of got into this loop forever.
Yeah, well, what do you do? I'm repairing this radio. Well, how do you know when you're done? It no longer works, I can't find the parts. Okay, great fun. Well, stay warm down there and try to avoid all the heavy snow. This has been an unusual year for weather. I saw in the news that Fairbanks has had record amounts of snow this year. And they always get snow, of course, but
I mean, we got a fair bit more than we usually do. I mean, some places got 2 feet of snow in that one storm. What was it, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now? I forget. And we got a foot. And the weekend before that, we had several inches again, and ice on top of that. So we have definitely far exceeded our snow quota for this year. And we went probably 3 or 4 years with basically no measurable snow at all. And it's like, here, have it all at once.
Well, yeah, get it over with all at once. That's one way to do it. And I also read in the news that people were down in Florida complaining about cold. Every now and then it gets cold down there, and the orange growers claim doom and gloom. And I know that it snows in the panhandle of Florida, there along Destin and Eglin Air Force Base. I had friends stationed down there, and they would talk about the snow. So it does happen on occasion. And when it does, I guess you just sit and endure. What else can you do?
Well, you got to watch out for the iguanas on the trees. Once it gets down below, what is it, like 45 degrees or something, they start falling off the trees.
I saw that. There are YouTube videos about it. I also didn't realize that they are an invasive species, and the state was encouraging people to pick them up when they fall out of the trees and put them in a bag and bring them into them so that they can dispatch them.
Oh yeah, they're pretty pervasive, invasive. I don't know. I spent a little bit of time in the Keys a few years ago, and they were all over the place. There were also actual chickens crossing the road there too. So we were trying to get down to, I think, downtown Key West, and there were roosters walking across the road, and all the jokes wrote themselves.
Yeah, well, that's another subject that consumes several hours here on the net. Why did that chicken cross the road? Theta says because it could. There's one of your answers. Well, thanks for checking in with us. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. 7-3 into DYI.
Okay, Theta says I missed KN6WQU. Dan, if you're out there, I'm sorry I didn't even hear you. That silence indicates he may have heard wrong. Okay, let's take a fresh list. Who wants to join us? W6EK, are you there? Okay, we're going to start making up mythical calls here. Who would like to join us? This is W6EK and the Coffee Break Net.
W2VX, in and out.
N6CTC, in and out.
Okay, I got Chris and Doug, both in and out. So W2VX, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry. Good morning, Theta. Good morning, planet. Seems like we have people coming in from all over the planet these days. It's one of those success stories.
It's fun, isn't it? I guess guys get their ham radios and they want to actually use them. So to do that, you come over to this net. We had a fellow on from the Netherlands this morning. We've had a regular check-in from the Shire, as he calls it, in England. And Juicy Tomato from Australia. So, yeah, you're right. We got a worldwide net.
One of those success stories where all the people that are working in the boiler room are wondering when this ship is ever going to slow down so they can get off and, enjoy one of the ports. Got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that reminds me of get what you wish for. May you come to the attention of the authorities. And what was the third one, Theta? I don't know. It'll come to me in the middle of the night.
May you live in interesting times.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting times. I was watching YouTube about not the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and how that all transpired, and the North versus the South, abolitionists, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I remember studying that when I was in high school, but really haven't examined it. And I think the story that I was told when I was in high school is completely different from what I saw on YouTube. Maybe the YouTube one wasn't trying to be so politically correct.
I think what you'll find is it depends upon who's telling the story, which version of it you get. But all of them are interesting, and I'm quite with you. I got the macro level in high school, and now that you're older and have more time, you can dig into it, and the facts are really interesting.
Yeah, and the question becomes, how are the facts affected by the outlook and the motivation of the person who is recounting it? You go and you look for the history, and you go to certain places in the history to find your information. You weave it all together, and generally you either watch CNBC or you watch Fox News.
I wasn't all that much interested in history until I joined the Air Force and they assigned me to Boston. And I lived in Bedford, which is kind of about 17 miles northwest of Boston, and right next to Concord, Lexington, and Lincoln. Those are the other towns. And the Old North Bridge in Concord, where the first shots were fired, was about 4 miles from where I live. So I would go over there on occasion and just kind of take it in and walk the pathways and the history. And, all of a sudden it became alive. This is where it happened. This is what the people had to walk down and trudge along. And, I was thinking, so Paul Revere ran along, across the river and ran up to, rode his horse up to Lexington. Big deal. Well, it was a big deal. I was thinking in terms of hills with weeds and an oak tree here and there, but no, it was entirely different. And since then, I really enjoy reading the history and looking at the various viewpoints that come with respect to it.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's something, it's brain food. Taking a look at, what the issues were, or at least what the reported issues were. And I really like that stuff. Anyway, was trying to do a quick in and out, and I'm watching the monitors, down here in the boiler room for the Coffee Break Net, and it's always interesting to see what's going on behind the scenes. Anyway, Gerry, Theta, and everybody else, 7-3s, this is W6EK. I am going to be clear. And you know what? If the sun comes out, I'm going on a bike ride. 7-3.
Very good. I wondered if you might. I see you were getting into Mountaintop, and Rockland not quite as much, and Georgetown even less. I seem to be getting all three pretty good. So the system is up and working thanks to you, and appreciate it. Have a great day. Enjoy your bike ride if you go. This is W6E. So, Chris, good morning, N6CTC, W6E.
Good morning, Gerry and Theta and the rest of the net. This is Chris, N6CTC.
what great fun. And you'll be in the sun, so you won't be absolutely frozen. And it's supposed to be up into the 50s today, so life will be good. Did I hear the other day that you graduated, completed your education requirements?
That is affirmative. I have earned my Associates of Arts in the cybersecurity field. Yep, finished year of college, and this is my graduation present to myself, or was my graduation present to myself. My first HF radio.
Well, congratulations on graduating, and that's a nice degree to have in cybersecurity. My guess is you will be fully employed for the rest of your life. And what radio did you get?
So I went over to the candy store, and I got the Yaesu FT710 Field. And I picked up a Ultimax end-fed antenna when I was there, and then I got one of these Life PO4 batteries, and charged it up. I'm ready to go. Got my Hammers logging software all ready.
I don't know the FT710, but I know Yaesu. That'll be a nice radio. The battery, how many amp hours does it have, capacity?
It's a 20 amp hour battery, and it is going to eventually be in a battery box. But I figured I didn't need everything first, just the battery. So got all the cords I need to hook it up to the radio, and it's going to be a good time. And yes, the Yaesu had the most important factor that I was looking for in a radio, and that was a sail.
Oh, very good. That's important to some degree, but also portability is important. Did you see anybody you knew at the candy store?
I did. K6 ABJ was there, Aaron, and he helped me out. And then I met some new friends too. I just was, walking around, picking some stuff out, put it on the counter, and then they'd get into conversation, and then go play radio on the wall of radios. And I made a friend. Someone came up and said, "What you doing?" "Well, I'm listening to people talk, trying to find some POTAs, and then I'm going to buy a radio." So it was fun. I've actually never been there before because I didn't have any purchase. But
that's funny.
My bank even had to call me. They're not used to the wealth of a single man's tax return and 6CTC.
Oh, I think they've seen that before. I was going to say that what I expected your answer to be was every salesman there you knew, and that's typically the reason. If they were to set up a little corner of the store and offer coffee, they'd probably have people sitting in there yakking all day long.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of place where you would have to do a reverse feng shui in order to keep people from staying there too long. It seems like, I don't know, kind of like how the Circle K was when I was about my youngest son's age, 15 years old. They had all of the Mountain Dew and Doritos and Street Fighter II Champions Edition for quarters, and they couldn't get us to leave either.
Theta likes to go to a fabric store up in Portland. It's a huge one. It's closed now, but at the time it was open, and we would drive across Portland to go to this thing. And so she'd get lost in among all the bolts of fabric, and I wouldn't see her. But they had a little section with a couch and some chairs and a TV and coffee. That was all the husbands would sit over there and chat while the ladies, mostly ladies, I guess that's a sexist comment, were out shopping through the store, and it worked out very well. mouth. What are you talking?
It's right next to, aptly named, the Tutoring Center. Yep, it's right there with the Chick-fil-A. It used to be a big baseball store, but then I swear in about 3 days it was no longer a baseball store, and now it's a big old quilting store. So, lots of fabrics to look at.
Well, I suspect that now is going to appear on our dance card. It's on Pleasant Grove, someplace you say near a Walmart?
That's right, Highway 65 and Pleasant Grove, that Walmart right there. It's right off of Pleasant Grove when you turn into the center. There's like a little small shopping center before you get to like the Sam's Club and the Walmart. It's got like a Hawaiian food store. It's got the tutoring center. The Chick-fil-A is probably the biggest thing that you would see from the road. But yep, it's tucked in the back there, and it's pretty big.
Do they also have a Panera Bread store?
You know, I'm pretty sure there is, but it's kind of one of those strip malls where everything rotates, and then new stores kind of pop up, just like the quilting store.
Yeah, I know where it is. You have to go past it to get into where the Walmart or the Sam's Club is. Well, I would say thanks for telling me, but Theta's making notes over here.
Well, Gerry, I do like to be an agent of chaos, so there you go. Well, I'm going to finish wrestling Jackson out of bed over here. So he was up a little late last night. He discovered a plumbing issue with the house, and you know, it's one of those things. Welcome to manhood. You're going to clog this thing once a year, so get used to fixing it. All right, guys. Have a great day. 7-3 and 6 CTC.
Okay, Chris. Well, have fun today doing your Park on the Air, and hope the bands cooperate with you. This is W6E. Just as an aside, KB5VAO. Are you with us?
Indeed, I am, Gerry. Theta in the net, and I'll wait for my check-in to come around.
Okay, well, I was just about to take check-in, so let's go now. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, at least there's a Chick-fil-A near that quilting store, so don't go on a Sunday.
Yeah, so I can take Theta over there, and she can go shopping, and I can eat Chick-fil-A, huh?
Well, since nobody likes to go through the ninth dimension of Hades, known as Walmart, yes.
Yeah, great fun. Do you have Chick-fil-A's there in Lubbock?
Let's see, we've got one. We have at least two that I know of. The two that I use. There's probably more than that here, but yes, we have Chick-fil-A's here in Lubbock.
You can find those just about everywhere, like Costco. My daughter went to Iceland, and the first thing they did was went to the Costco by the airport because the food there was so expensive, so they got some supplies. Let's see. Brian, you want to talk to David?
Yeah, I do. Good morning, Dave. Brian here. Yes, your node is announcing your connections through the connected nodes, and I sent you an email. If you could respond to that email, please.
Okay, Brian, I'm a bit behind on my emails, but I will have a go at that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, we've had to drop you about 4 or 5 times today. Had to drop you a couple times in the past week as well. So appreciate that. Back to you, Gerry. AI.
David, what's on your agenda for today? David, did we lose you? W6E.
Okay, I'm about to throw this iPhone out the window. That's part of my problem with the Node stuff. But yeah, not a lot going on. Just relaxing and enjoying the good weather out here. It's got to be at least in the 60s or 70s by now.
Oh, how nice. Quite a change from the numbers we've been hearing from other folks checking in. Brian, you have more?
No, not at all. Not at all. If Dave can check out things on his side and work out why the local announcements are going out over the net or over the connections, no, that's it for me. Thank you, Gerry. Back to you.
Okay, very good. Well, great fun with radio, David. That's why it's a hobby.
Now, what was going on, Brian, was my screen reader was rattling off stuff, and I didn't at the time know that the push-to-talk was engaged. So that's why you were hearing all manner of nonsense over the network.
Okay, yeah, we appreciate you looking into it. It had been a regular thing lately, so I just wanted to make sure you were aware. Thank you very much, and we are glad you're here.
I think I've got it wrangled, Brian. Thanks for letting me know.
Okay, David, thanks for checking in with us. Enjoy your 70-degree weather while we're not that far behind you. And Brian, I don't know if you were listening earlier, but Thomas came on and gave us what he knew. Do you have any update on Ray, KK6AM?
No, I do not. Only with I had reached out to Thomas earlier today and asked him to let us know how Ray was doing, and very fortunate that he is being treated, and we look forward to him being back on the air. And welcome to Christina, who's now in the area, and definitely takes a village. And we're glad to hear that he is Ray is in a place where he can be cared for. And yeah, it was quite an event yesterday. AI6US.
I know that a lot of that is due to you. You went down and did a wellness check. What was the genesis of that check?
Now, the last time we had heard from Ray was Wednesday morning during the Coffee Break Net check-in, and he wasn't sounding well that morning. Sounded like he had a cold or something. We did not hear from him in that afternoon, and then when I didn't hear from him checking in on Thursday, I started going, unusual not to have Ray checking in. Friday morning, when didn't hear him check in on Friday morning, I just had that feeling that we need to check up on him. Nobody had checked into the repeater. Nobody had heard from him, so just hopped in the truck after talking to Thomas and Christina. Just decided to head on down and do a wellness check, and rang the doorbell, pounded on the door. I could hear a voice in the background. I could hear our repeater, voices from the repeater, but I'm going to let it ring. But yeah, the voice that I heard back, seemingly responding to me, was kind of incoherent and very weak, and I couldn't really tell what was being said. So then, I announced who I was and that do you need help? And I heard something, couldn't really tell what it was. So then I again, said, do you need help? And there was another sentence that I couldn't understand. So
nothing was unlocked, so we had to, the fire department popped the door, went in, and yeah, it looked like he had possibly fallen 2 days earlier. So yeah, it was not a good situation.
No, it wasn't. But how fortunate that you made the effort to go down and find him, because otherwise, who knows how long he could have been there. Needs one of those help I've fallen and can't get up buttons. Well, thanks for doing that, Brian. That was very nice of you to do, and I know I would have missed him on the on the trivia net last night had I not heard this story. So all is well. I remember not too many years ago you doing something very similar for AB4CC when he was up thinking he was still 29 years old and skiing down that Black Diamonds run.
No, this is just something we do as a club. Yeah, Don and I went up there and helped Don out, helped Clyde out. And then a couple years ago during Snowmageddon, we went out and delivered generators and dug a couple people out, tracked up, and, you know, it takes a village. There's been many of us who have gone out and helped out. So, yeah, certainly this is something that I think we as a club and as a group of good humans are really good at around here.
Indeed we are, and I'm proud to be associated with a group like that, and thank you for all you do. Appreciate it. And it's very much similar to your idea for starting up this net. It's kind of caught fire. A great idea.
Yeah, and it did not start up. We're going to squash that. It did not start up because of COVID. It just happened to coincide with it, and people had time on their hands, and who would have thought, you know, we're coming on now, and I don't even know what we are for check-ins now, but 77, almost 72,000 check-ins, crazy. Hey, thanks for running the net. I'm going to hop out of here, AI6US, and sending good thoughts and get well wishes to KK6AM Ray.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
Brian, I just turned the radio on. This is KN6WQ. I am definitely going to spread my well wishes. I have one more thing that I wanted to add to the situation is that this is why it's really important to, you know, as much as Ray didn't want to be involved in the things, and I'm glad that he was, because if he wasn't, you know, like checking on the repeater and, you know, keeping the peace around here, you know, and things went awry and nobody, you know, it didn't happen, we would know something would happen to Ray. And checking Break Net, it's not so much just like, hey, you know, I'm here, I'm doing this, it's, and I'm okay, and, you know, I'm looking out for, you know, for my other friends and people, and, you know, like Brian said, it takes a village to make this thing roll down, and I'm very thankful and very proud to be a part of this group as well. Can you put me on the list there, Gerry? This is KN6WQ.
Okay, Dan, you make a good point. I'm very proud to be a part of it, too. And for some people, this is their only social outlet, so it's important that we take care of them. And, Brian, I'm sorry, I will always associate this net with the beginning of COVID because I remember such important discussions as, is there toilet paper available at Costco today, or how long is the line to get in? Things like that when this first started up. And the story of the guy who had to order the beer in order to make his minimum quantity order, and then all he got was the beer. So great stories. Thank you for doing that, Brian. And Dan, KN6WQU, what are you up to today?
Dang, that was pretty awesome. Just right here on the list already. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to butt in there. I'm glad that Ray's okay. I mean, you know, I created a special bond with him when I was up working on his vehicle, so that was pretty cool. Let's see, in addition to that, today is a nice sunny day, so I get to get some things done. I was supposed to go to Plymouth Lake this morning, but I'm not going to the city, by the way, not the actual lake. I was supposed to go up there, but I decided to change it because I'd rather work out here during the summertime, or when the sun is out, and then I can, in Plymouth Lake, there's a garage I can go work in, so that kind of helps out. So I told my client, I'm like, look, it's going to be raining. I'd rather, go to your place and work in the rain than be out here and sitting at home when it's raining. So I put your Roos, and here we are. So hopefully this works out a lot better. I got Zane with me today, so that's pretty cool. Heather was playing bowling, and she hurt her knee. She might have sprained it or something. So we got a little cast on her, little brace or whatever you want to call it. And we're still having issues with this stupid air conditioning system. It shuts down every once in a while. I have to restart it. I got a message into the people again, so I don't know at this point. I hope they just can send out a new unit. We can just be done with it. But anyway, thanks for running that, Gerry. This is KN6WQ.
Well, I don't know what that was. This is W6E. Dan, what was the name of the lake you were going to? Was it Cliff?
Yeah, Roger. I'm back on the mobile now. So Plumas Lake. So it's outside of it's on 70. God, there's another city that everybody knows more about it that it's there, but it's a little bit before Yuba City, Marysville, kind of in that area. It's a little bit. I believe it's a town before Yuba City, from what I understand. It's just like it used to be this field, and they turned it into a, like they did with, the Thomas area, just a marshland. They turned into a home. So that's pretty much what it is out there.
Oh, I was asking because I hadn't heard of it, and I'm sorry to hear about Heather. That bowling. She must be doing the combat version of it. Poor girl. So enjoy having your son along with you today. And, enjoy the sunshine. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow, and the weatherman's saying we're getting more rain next week. So, we definitely need it.
Hi. All right, this is KN6WQ. Thanks for running that, Gerry, and hope everybody has a great day.
Okay, and 7th you there, Dan, and good morning, Zane. Good to hear you on. This is W6E, and this is the Coffee Break Net. We are approaching the magic hour when we'll let the repeater get back to whatever you want to talk about, which apparently was HO model trains. Who would like to check in here before we pull the thing closed?
K6DLK. Good morning, Gerry.
N6ADL.
KD6ESNH. W6AGT, check-in only.
KM6RUK, check-in only.
KQ4SDX, log only.
Victor Yankee Delta Kilo, November 6, Victor Yankee Delta, log only.
Kilo Mike 6, Mike for the log, please.
The time is 10 a.m.
Kilo Delta 6, November.
48 degrees.
W8LDT, good morning, Gerry. No log only, please.
Wow, okay, here's who I got. I got K6DLK. Dan, I'll be back to you. N9MUF. And whether you were in and out of log only, sometimes I was able to get it, sometimes I wasn't, so I apologize. N6ADL, KD6QZH, W6ADT, somebody who ended in IUT, I didn't get the prefix, KQ4SDX, KN6, let's see, KM6MM, K4LGI, W8LDT, and WB3CSY. Who did I miss?
Kilo Bravo 7 Foxtrot Papa KV 7 DSP Kinnan Twin Falls Pedestrian Mobile.
AN6GAA.
Kilo November 6 Victor Yankee Delta Kilo November 6 Victor Yankee Delta
Okay, KN6BYD log only. I got you. KB7DFP and KN6GAA. Let's go back up to the top. N9MUF. Do you have anything for us?
Good morning, Gerry and the Net. Just wanted to check in, and the class went really well, and introduce them to the Coffee Break Net. We were listening in for a bit, and I think I might have one, hopefully two people about either getting DV switcher installed or getting a Shark RF mic and checking into the net. So hopefully, broaden the horizons. 73TL and 9MUF.
Okay, Dan. Well, how nice that is that you were able to get a couple interested in it. Keep the hobby growing, and thanks for participating. Good morning to all your folks there. N6ADL, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Gerry and Theta. Thank you for handling the net this morning. This is Amir in Sly Park and N6ADL. Oh boy, I'm running on alternative power, and the whole house has been for about 6 days now. I'm using solar panels to recharge our batteries. We had, in the beginning of the winter storm, we had a bunch of trees fall, property damage, house damage. My power lines are ripped out. We're very well snowed in. Sly Park's had over, I think, 30, maybe 35 inches of snow. And so I just wanted to come on. I've been monitoring when I could, and didn't want to transmit unless I had to because of power situations. But there was a resounding message I heard, and it was echoed a couple times, and I wanted to repeat it again, how important it is to make a community where you live, albeit that on the radio or elsewhere. Community is a lifeline in bad situations. And I'll take a break, Gerry. So when we moved to Sly Park a year ago, we had a neighbor that recognized my vehicle and the antennas, and he came out and introduced himself to me again, and we had actually worked in the Caldor fire together, and so we made immediate friends because we knew each other through radio already. And that one gentleman has definitely been a lifeline for my family, providing us means to get fuel and food, because he is located in a position down the
Amir, we may have lost you. I'm listening to him on the input. Yeah, I can hear you because I'm listening to you on the input, but something must have happened to your radio because you were in solid, and then you just went away. So, come to think of it, I'm looking at the inputs, and our mountaintop receiver seems to have gone away, so I don't think it's something you did.
operating.
Okay, Amir, what he said was they're using chainsaws and having to do the old West type living in one room to keep it warm and so forth, so we wish you well. We're generator. Amir, you'll probably be able to get in now. I see our remote receivers come back up. And I wish you well, and you're right, it is important. And 30 inches of snow. So before you go, and apparently you're able to get back in now, what is your elevation there? 30 inches of snow.
3.8K, so 3,800 feet elevation. And yeah, we got hit hard, man. These trees, I don't think these trees have ever seen this much snow, at least not in a decade. They're falling left and right. About every 10 minutes we hear a tree fall. I've had 4 hit my house, probably 10 on my property, and I could count more power lines down than there are up. I can give you a little picture. When I finally made it out, and we were driving, I seen snow plowers, and they had about 200 feet of power lines wrapped around their rear axle, just whipping around behind them. It's a pretty dangerous scene up here, and it's hard to go outside. You know, the snow's covered a lot of power lines and things, so you just got to be really careful and cognizant of what you're doing, and if you need to be doing that at all, otherwise stay inside.
Yeah, I agree with you. That is dangerous, although I'm not sure how I would know that there was a power line a foot below me in the snow if I didn't hear it crackling and popping. Well, stay healthy and stay well. Hopefully you'll get your power restored before too long. There is another storm on the way, but it's a warm storm, so maybe, given you're at 3,800 feet, maybe you'll get some rain out of it instead, and it'll wash this stuff away.
Yeah, I appreciate the good wishes there, Gerry, and we're trying to stay optimistic ourselves. You know, we're making it as fun as we can for our daughter. She's 4 years old, so we're, you know, making games out of things that aren't really, but, you know, you have to also juggle trying to keep things normal, but also, you know, identifying what really is happening and planning for evacuation in case you need to get out. So we're ready to go if we need to. I got some windows that are very threatened, and I mean trees pressing up against them, and snow building up on them. So if we lose a single window, you know, we got to go. I'm able to keep one room warm right now, but yeah. So yeah, man, appreciate you checking me in. I'm glad that the high mountain repeater picked back up, but I'll let you carry on with the list. It is witching hour. Thanks, Gerry. N680, all 73, everyone.
7-3 Amir, and keep your radio warm in case you need something. Give us a call. And your daughter's 4. Wasn't that last week she was born? My goodness, it seems like it. 7-3s, moving along here. Peter, KD6QZH, you have anything for us?
Good morning, Gerry, Theta, and Annette. Special good morning to Rocky as well. Well, first, really glad that Ray's okay. He's such a nice guy, and I always enjoy him on the net. So, hats off to Brian, and I believe somebody else went with him, but I didn't catch who that was for, you know, having the 42 to wanting to check into the net for a couple of days ago over there, and great. As we used to say in public safety, you have a save under your belt. You probably saved his life. So hats off to you too, and hats off to the
in the middle of all of that, our main receivers went down, and it seems to be down now. So I was able to hear you on the input, so I was able to finish it up. But strange things going on. Apparently, Amir, you're not alone. Even our receiver up in the snow is having troubles. So let's see, W6ADT, are you still with us?
Break.
Go ahead, Break.
Hey, Gerry, this is W2BX. I'm monitoring the incoming RF signals. I just wanted to tell Peter his radio is transmitting about 500 hertz below whatever he thinks is 144 830. So he's coming in at 144 829.5. Just thought he might want to address that.
Yeah, go ahead, Peter. Make it quick. I'm trying to wrap this up.
Okay, actually, I'm transmitting on 144.83, and I'm not sure how to adjust anything on my console. Can we talk after that so I don't hold it up?
I guess what you could do is you could try transmitting at 144.830 500.
Yeah, I'll try that later after the TV. My apologies, Gerry.
Yeah, Doug, you know the mountaintop receiver is down.
Yeah, I think somebody's probably looking at that, but my comment is more about he's transmitting and his radio is 500 hertz low, and that can cause some issues for him. You might want to address that. W3. Back to you.
Okay, well, you and Peter can take this up later. It's I don't know what I would do if I was 500 KC off. KQ4SDX, did you want in and out or log, or do you have something to tell us? Okay, she might have gone away. K4LGI, Sam, good morning.
Just hi and bye, K4LGI.
Okay, are you just log only, Sam?
Yeah, I guess that part didn't get through the first time. See you later.
Okay, and W8LDT, are you log only, or you have something to add?
Good morning, Gerry. I'm just log only. Wishing the best to Ray. That's all I got. 7-3.
Okay, very good, and thanks for the wishes. CSY, you were log only. KB7DFP, pedestrian mobile, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I was pedestrian mobile. Now I'm chowing down on my beef stew, and it's going to be great. But I'll help to get you out of here a little quicker, so I'll turn it back over to you. KB7DFP.
Okay, enjoy your beef stew. And Frank, KN6GAA, good morning.
Gerry, how you doing? Good morning to you and the net. I just logged, came right in right as they were talking about, you guys were talking about Ray. That's a horrible thing to hear, horrible news. I hope he's doing good. Our thoughts are with him and the family. And boy, I haven't heard of Amir for a long time. His little girl is 4 years old already. But anyways, just a quick in and out here, Gerry. Have a great weekend, and thanks for doing the net. get back to you.
Okay, Frank. Well, Christina flew out here last night, and hopefully she'll check in sometime today and let us know how Ray's doing. Have a good one, and thanks for checking in with us. K6DLK, good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Gerry. Wow, a lot happening. I just turned on a little bit here towards the end and was amazed to hear of all the happenations. But I'm having traumatic flashbacks. You know, Jerry's got the best Manapua, and here I am shuffling up to the Manapua truck with cash in hand. And right when I get up, I'm worried that the sign will get turned over and say, sorry, sold out, as you were mentioning that there were some problems with the repeater and all kinds of things going on, and you needing naturally to get the heck out of here. First of all, Ray and family, prayers go out for strength and quick, just all good. On Brian, the heroic shenanigans are not surprising, and I am expecting that when I'm out on the railroad tracks, he will jump into my place and push me out of the way. And to Amir, I'm wondering how you make a game out of it, you know? Trees falling down on the house, it's like, hey, that one missed the house, let's all sing and dance. Too darn funny.
Well, you know, you got to make lemonade when you got lemons, and I tip my hat to him. You sound like you're out of breath. Are you out on your morning hike?
Yes, I am. I hit the main street here. There were some hawks up top, just making a racket a little while ago doing their morning hunting. And it looks like there are a lot of people leaving the community. I just exited the road off from the quarry area here. You know, it's a beautiful day. I was going to get on and say, oh, it's blustery and windy and cool. But after hearing Amir's check-in, man, I decided to redirect on that one. It is beautiful out. It's blue skies. It looks like somebody just blew on a bunch of puffs of dandelions, and the clouds are just like these little gentle cotton candy strewn throughout the sky. It's just an indicator that spring is on its way. So hopefully all that snow dropping on you guys up north there will result in great water table, and I realize it's a big sacrifice and a lot of stuff going through the seasonal stuff, but it sounds like we're okay as far as the water goes, right?
I believe last night on the news they said that a week ago we were at 54% of normal water or snowpack, and now we're at 104%, and we got more on the way. So, yeah, we're looking good on water, which is important for you because you probably get your water from over here. So, yeah, and we did get snow. I didn't where I live, but we've got trees that are blossoming and looking good. So spring is coming, and we're saying that, and the poor guys back east are Okay, Dan, well, have a safe hike and enjoy.
Thanks, Gerry. I look forward to catching up with you in the future and finding out how you're doing. We just took another one back, and just like our conservation of energy that we're all familiar with, E equals MC squared, I'm looking at a commercial sewer setup where trees equal sewer pipe snared. That's my Saturday after the hike here, as I get to go out and figure out what's going on there. So whatever you're doing today, all, have a great one, and hello to all. K6DLK.
Okay, and you have a great one too. Enjoy your sewer work. This is W6EK, and this has been the Coffee Break Net. At this point, if there's anybody who just wants to get in on the log, give me a call. I'll try to write it down fast. Otherwise, we're going to pull the plug and let this revert back to the casual use.
WB7 UKX KI6TC for the log.
All bookended for you, Gerry. Flight 0, Uniform Bravo, GM0, UUB, Graham, Central Scotland.
Okay, I got WB7 UKX, a KI6TC, and Gulf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo in Central Scotland. Good evening to you.
Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be. This is GM0UUB. Graham here. Central Scotland is just about 23 minutes past 6 o'clock in the evening, and watching some of the rugby just now. Wales was beating Scotland, but Scotland's now beating Wales. That's quite good. Only about 4 minutes to go. Anyway, I've been listening to this net, and I think it's Gerry. Fantastic net, great comments, and just loved all the comments there and everything else. So I don't think I've checked into this net before. So I must listen more often, that's for sure. Heard you talking about model railways and everything. Let me just take a wee pip. I won't hold you long. I'll just give you a quick YouTube thing to go and look up. I'll just take a wee pip. GM0UUB continuing. Well, I was speaking to a chap called Ron, Papa Yankee 4, Victor Tango, PY4VT, and I think he's 71, but his dad built this model railway, and you can see it on YouTube. And I would encourage anyone that likes to have a wee bit of a surprise and all the rest to have a look at this. Look up Ron Vaz, that's RONVAZ, Ron Vaz Z-scale train layout, or Z-scale train layout. And take a look at that. It's a 5-minute long video, and what a surprise you get at the end, because it's a wonderful, wonderful whole setup of the model railway. But honestly, it can fit on half of the top of that coffee table. Amazing. So go and check it out on YouTube, folks. Anyway, back to you. I think it's Gerry from GM0UUB, and thanks for taking my check-in and doing some overtime as well. Sorry to hold you back. Back to you, sir.
Okay, very good. GM0UUB, W6EK. Well, thanks for telling us about Ron Vez, Papa Yankee 4, Victor Tango, and his model railroad. If you've been listening for a while, you know that's apparently something that's quite popular amongst the hams here, is the model railroading. And also thanks on the update on the football. I'm glad to know that Scotland is handing it to Wales, although my ancestry comes back from Wales, so I guess I should be offended, but that's too many years ago for me to worry.
Node 5101 disconnected. Node 43136 connected to Node 500990. Node 43136 disconnected.
Well, that's Jeff. So we'll see you guys then. This is W6EK returning the repeater and the net back to whatever you want to talk about. Adios.
009.
Thanks, Gerry. I'm writing it on the wall. For the best Manipua, check in with Gerry.
Gerry and Theta, you all have a great day. Kilo Golf 6 November Lima Whiskey.